Now, for anyone who's has issues with nausea and vomiting, you're probably gonna want to look away now.
Get the buckets. Hi. I'm having issues with this. Oh god. Why were his lips so thick?
I'm very sorry. Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea. I need
Oh, the
help.
humanity.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
Excuse
What?
me?
Cut me. I beg you.
The vicar's spectacles lie broken on the forest floor. Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp.
I think we have something for that.
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand. This should work.
Now, to add on top of some digital vomiting, we
Are
have
you sure you want me to do this?
some hinted
Yes,
bloodletting.
you cure me of my ills.
Hinted? He literally said, cut
shall
me
do
and
as you
bleed
ask,
me. That ain't
Father.
hinted, that's bleed me. Do bloodletting.
Otherwise, I give up this game. We actually don't see anything of the worst of it.
Thank the Lord for my spare pair. God bless you. I already feel
As a
quite
glasses
better.
wearer, I completely
I'm glad,
understand the
Father.
spare pair thing.
The rapid healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated. I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of St. Edmund's Church.
My name is Thomasin
Hello, good
Abateman.
sir.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
I just ate a rotten berry, that's all. I like to pick blackberries for my supper, you see. They are quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My
Ripped to
apologies again.
shreds.
I wish we had met in different circumstances.
Having cleaned the brambles from my back garden, they are stubborn buggers.
Are you from Bewley originally?
I
was
can
born in our
imagine
very own
they're
St. Edmunds.
brambles.
It's
They
quite
grew
a
those
story.
Do
thorns
tell.
so they
My
could
mother
be,
was
you know,
sheltering
stubborn
me
buggers.
as a frightful tempest raged. And lo, did her
But were they
waters
blackberry
break
brambles?
right
Did you at
there
least
and
get
then
some
in that
nice
fjord?
berries out of the deal? Were they
One
just
could say that
generic
you were born into
brambles
your role,
that are
Father.
useless?
Oh, there were
Indeed.
some blackberries
When
growing
my
on
mother
them, but
told me the story as a young
they got
boy,
thrown out along with the
I
rest of the
knew that
brambles.
this was my calling.
That's a waste.
St. Edmund's is a fine building.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
Remember the church in the next village over from my old home? We're constantly nicking the slate from the roof.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child. I have a great love for our parish, and the Lord looks after us.
What about your congregation?
Numbers
Oh, how?
have fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of his spirit.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewley.
And he didn't tell you his address?
He was to meet me last night at the
So
Plough
I think I
and Furrow,
channeled
but
Fran
he never
Drescher for a
came.
minute
I
there.
see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewley on his behalf.
Thank you, Father. Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now. A fair hike across the moors.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Just let me know when you're ready to pay him a visit. I'll be resting here for the time being.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Now, we could go straight to old Leonard Solder's home. But still, a few things we need to do first.
No doubt home to many a woodland creature.
Yeah, we've got, like,
I shall see you later
places
this
to
evening,
explore.
Well, I say.
Hi.
Greetings, my dear.
Hello, sir.
A pause on your beauty, for I shall see you again soon.
Wait. Some nerve.
Lady, you're blushing.
I most
Oh,
certainly am
flirt
not.
and go. Squeeze me?
The men look like they've spent many a long day exposed to the harsh moorland weather.
Sorry, lass. No way through here today.
If you say so.
I do. I'm sorry, but it's not safe to walk through here while we're working. By order of Lord Panswick.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
Oh, aye? You're not from round here, Thomasina Bateman.
No, just visiting. What
Wait.
is your name, sir?
Horace.
Are you in charge here?
I am indeed.
Tell me, who was that arrogant man here just now?
Just someone passing by.
It sounded like you knew him better than that.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's none of your business.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? We're chopping down trees.
There is no need to be sarcastic.
We're employed by Lord Panswick. He's ordered us to gather logs from his woods. That's what we're doing.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm alright.
These are his woods.
Aye, his
I
lordship
ain't checking
owns
that man
most
for
of the
ladies'
land around
panties if
here.
that's what you're asking.
Who is Lord Panswick?
Our governor.
He's the governor of the whole town.
All right, Owen, back to work now.
He lives in Bewley.
Aye, not far away. But his lordship doesn't like questions. Or visitors.
Why do I get
Now,
the
please
feeling
leave us to
Mr.
our
Fancy
work.
Pants is Lord fucking pain in
Do
the
you know a
ass?
man named Leonard Shoulder?
No, I don't. Can you let me get back to my work now?
Thanks for your time.
We'll be done by tomorrow morning. Come back then if you want to explore the woods.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
A British red squirrel.
By the time where red squirrels were more common before the American Grey started to take over.
Yeah, I heard
I'm ready
about
to go
that.
to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well.
Though
Follow
apparently
me.
there's like efforts to fix that. People are starting to target the American Greys.
Walking. Walking.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor
met.
to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
Excellent. Miss Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Yes, I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
I'll be here all day, young lady. But remember, once they're gone, they're gone. Those little whelps have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
Oh, little kids
You're
like the
doing
gingerbread.
God's work, Mrs.
Children.
Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Miss Bateman,
Two different
if you'd like to follow me-
personalities. Cynical and adorable. Bird.
Let's talk.
What if that's
of
the same crow from last
graves,
night?
Of worms and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills.
Shakespeare?
Quite. Which play?
He does this 3 times. I get achievement for getting it right.
Macbeth.
Magnificent guess, Miss Bateman, but I'm afraid that passage is from Richard II. Studying the work of
Yeah,
the
it did
bard
not
is
sound
one
like
of my
Macbeth. I was
favourite
staying quiet because I
pastimes.
really wasn't sure.
Follow me.
Like, I should have said something. Sorry.
Yeah. Stop, but it doesn't really affect anything.
Behold, the vast expanse of God's creation.
I used to be very into Shakespeare in
The
college.
moors
That's
extend
why I
as
was like,
far
I
as
should
the
know
mortal eye
this.
can see.
But sadly, Richard II isn't one I'm super familiar
Beautiful,
with. Hamlet
is it
and
not?
Macbeth, I am.
Indeed, the moors are beautiful.
The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms.
Well, I'd
How
say they're
can one
moreover
take
a
in such
little
a
on the
view and
barren
not have
side,
faith?
but the more the
Some look at
merrier
these
for this
moors
kind of
and
thing,
think
right?
this a godless land.
Oh, ha
But I
ha.
tell you, he is found in all domains. The Lord's work is all about us. Tell me, Miss
Some
Bateman,
say the moors are
do you
barren,
believe in God?
but it's filled with life. Just
Oh,
I was brought
yeah.
up Anglican.
I mean,
The
there's
church was
probably
an
plant life,
important
there's probably
part of my
animals that
early
live on the
life,
moor
Father
too.
Mage.
Nothing is ever truly
But
barren.
what happened to my father eventually
Even
made
Chernobyl
me
has
question
life now.
things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
He had an accident when I was very young.
Widdle-doo, widdle-doo, widdle-doo.
Come along now, Thomasina. Let's get out of the rain. Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Good. And don't annoy the nurses.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
Okay, so far reasonable request. You know, don't run around and annoy the sick people. Don't annoy the nurses. They're trying to work.
Mummy is crying. Daddy is sleeping. Daddy, wake up! Daddy, wake up! Mummy? Mummy?
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one. You must be Thomasina?
Yes.
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Will he ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman. There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all. But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst, ma'am. He will have a nurse by his side at all times, I can assure you.
What sort of god would allow this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this. God moves in mysterious ways, but he loves us all. Come along now.
Hello? She scampered off in a hurry. Who was that?
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors. I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring, and don't stray too far from Bewley.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid, but we'll get to him soon enough. Now then, take a look at this. Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
I beg your pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh, I see.
Come now.
The devil has a very bad case of eczema.
We walked and walked across that vast, featureless landscape. All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily. Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist. Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
Here we are, Miss Bateman. Unless
I gotta
my
do it,
memory
Raven.
fails me completely, this is Mr.
Chimpkins.
Leonard Shoulder's house.
Thank
Get
you for your
out.
help, Father Roach.
Now, no need to thank me after your providential assistance today. However, I have something to ask.
Flame, Star, and Lantern, they're a
Please
bad
don't tell
influence
Mrs.
on
Delancey
me.
about my little scene in the woods. She will only fret. The poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
I shan't mention it.
Thank you. You'd better see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
A woolen undergarment. Slightly damp.
I have a similar one myself. So very warm.
TMI,
Glove
Father!
looks familiar.
TMI! We didn't even know what your underpants
I wonder
are!
if it matches the glove I found behind the plough and furrow. The gloves are a pair. Does this mean Mr. Shoulder was in the alley last night? Why didn't he come inside to see me? A pair of thick woolen trousers. The trousers feel damp, freshly hung.
You must have just
and
washed
still
them.
wet from last night's rain.
Oh yeah, probably just wet from the rain.
Here, chuk chuk chuk.
Don't
Here,
encourage them.
Yeah,
Sweet
don't
little
encourage.
man, plump and well groomed. He looks much too unruly to be picked up. A fearsome-looking beast. Care to hold one, Father Roach?
Put that thing down, would you?
You're no fun.
Is the priest afraid of chickens, or are those chickens just evil or something?
You know, the last time I picked up one of these chickens, he wasn't around.
No sign of life.
None. The window is nice and clean. The dwelling is by no means abandoned. This must provide a charming view across the moor. A carved stone has been affixed to the door. I think it depicts a crescent moon.
Well, that
Father, what
sounds
do you make of
pretty.
this?
I'd have that on my
A
door.
peculiar adornment. I've not seen any like this in Bewley. Though it does remind me of a passage by the bard himself.
Here we go.
It is the very error of the moon. She comes nearer earth than she was wont, and makes men mad.
It's either the Merchant of Venice or
Juliet.
Othello.
A fine tragedy. But that particular passage is from the great Othello.
Yeah, that
I'm
was.
afraid your knowledge of
Ugh.
the bard is somewhat lacking.
I
It's been
hate
a while
Romeo and
since I've read
Juliet.
a
That
word
line
from
was
her.
too good for Romeo and Juliet.
Mr. Shoulder? Is Thomasina Bateman here? I'm here in Bewley as discussed.
Get out here, old
Maybe try
man.
again. His hearing probably isn't the best at his age.
Mr. Shoulder, are you home? It appears Mr. Shoulder is not at home. Curses.
Perhaps you could try the handle.
Just
It's
jiggle it.
locked.
Perhaps he's gone for a stroll.
Possibly.
I'd suggest you call back later, my child. I myself must make my way back home. I have some matters to attend to at the church. Shall I accompany you back to Bewley?
We're all
Let's
done
go.
here.
As I say, my child, Mr. Shoulder will make himself known. Do not lose faith.
I'm rather frustrated by this situation.
Now. Things move at a slower pace out here. Something you may not be so accustomed to.
I...
Come now, Miss Bateman.
Well, Mr. Shoulder, you've brought me to Bewley, and now you're nowhere to be found. As we trudged silently back to Bewley across those cold moors, I made a new resolution. I would find Hob's Barrow myself, with or without Mr. Shoulder. The train! That must be Kenneth.
Kenneth?
My assistant.
I see. Well, Miss Bateman, I really must attend to some other matters. I hope Mr. Shoulder finds his way to you.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
My pleasure. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Romeo and Juliet?
Correct. That I shall say good night, till it be morrow. Lord be with you.
I should go meet Kenneth at the station.
So what have we learned from the 3 Shakespeare questions?
Margaret's Lookout. I wonder who Margaret is, or was. A fine spot to take a rest.
Wait, we have freaking fast travel?
Yes.
Oh my god, this game is amazing. Fast travel is my favorite thing in this game.
He was supposed to wait for me at the station. Well, that's one mystery solved. It's Arthur Tillett. What's he doing in there? Mr. Tillett, where did you go last night?
Have we met?
Last night at the Plough and Furrow.
Oh, Miss Bateman. I were blind drunk last night and woke up with a stinking headache.
You still smell like a brewery.
Sorry.
You went to use the lavatory and never came back, Mr. Tillett. I searched everywhere for you.
I think I remember you bought me a drink. Then it's all a blur. I woke up in my bed this morning. My wife sour at me for waking her at some ungodly hour.
How's your headache faring?
It feels like a steam engine is driving full pelt in a circle around me skull.
Be sure to drink plenty of water, Mr. Tillett.
Aye, aye. I'll survive.
I will survive. I will survive.
So, you work here?
Aye. Bewley Station Master at your service. Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye. I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me. If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
What does a station master do?
A bit of this and a bit of that. I don't wish to bore you with such things.
As you wish.
My responsibilities here keep me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that much. A sense of duty can do wonders for a lost soul.
Indeed. This must be a rather lonesome post to occupy.
Trains pass through here more regularly than you might think, lass.
About last night. You really don't remember where you went last night?
As I say, it's all a blur. I remember needing a piss. Then... nothing. Well, you must have missed me when I came out.
I did not. I even went to the gents' toilets to find you.
Oh, aye. A sight for sore eyes.
It was. I checked everywhere, and you were nowhere to be found. The back door leading to the alleyway was blocked from the outside.
Oh, aye?
Yes. You must have exited through that door, Mr. Tillett.
But you just said it were blocked.
There must be an explanation.
My mind has drawn a blank.
Why was the door blocked? Did you block it?
This is interesting.
I told you I don't remember. I've no to say.
Everyone else in the town is very against this railway station, which could actually be a boon for the town, but...
I found Mr. Shoulder's house, but he wasn't home.
Don't worry. You'll find him.
You know, this is a very isolated town, so they don't quite understand that.
Oh, you've heard of his lordship, then?
Yes. Do you know him?
He's like the one member of the community, maybe his wife as well, we haven't met her yet, who is fine with it because it keeps him from being a drunk all day. And it probably earns pretty good money for him for his wife so they can afford food and clothing and shelter and that sort of thing. So that's an interesting juxtaposition of...
I don't follow.
He likes his privacy.
Some people do.
No one is allowed to visit him.
Do you mean to say that he's a bit eccentric?
No.
Of that kind of opinion.
Fired at when approaching his manor uninvited.
Good grief. But is this true?
Well, I won't be the one to find out.
I'm looking for Hob's Barrow.
Hob's Barrow.
It's why Leonard Shoulder invited me to Bewley. He thought I might like to excavate it.
Oh, I heard about a Hob's Barrow somewhere out there. There's some old stories around it.
What stories?
I can't remember.
Mr. Tillett, please. This is important.
I'm awfully sorry, Miss Bateman. I'll try to remember. If he invited you here, then I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you all about it.
That's if I ever get to meet him.
I'm sure you will.